Hey, Psychiant fam! Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the mind, emotions, and everything that makes us human. Today, we're talking about something that hits close to home for so many of us, our love lives. Specifically, the sneaky habits that can sabotage them without us even realizing it. Have you ever wondered why your relationships keep hitting the same roadblocks? Maybe you felt that spark fade, or arguments seem to pop up out of nowhere. Well, you're not alone, and today we're uncovering the 8 habits that kill your love life. Here's the thing. Love is beautiful, but it's also fragile. It takes effort, awareness, and a little bit of psychology to keep it thriving. These habits we'll explore, they're like silent assassins, small behaviors that build up over time and chip away at connection. And trust me, I've seen it in my own life too. Like that time I thought ignoring a problem would make it disappear. Spoiler alert, it didn't. So stick with me as we break these down, because self-awareness is the first step to turning things around. Here is a question to hook you in. Have you ever had a moment where you looked at your partner and thought, how did we get here? Maybe it was after a fight, or just a quiet night where you felt miles apart. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Let's dive into the first habit that could be killing your love life: neglecting communication. Let's start with the big one: neglecting communication. If there's one thing psychology teaches us, it's that open, honest communication is the backbone of any healthy relationship. It's how we connect, resolve conflicts, and feel understood. But when we let that slip, it's like pulling the plug on your love life's life support. Picture this. Your partner's had a rough day, and they're dropping hints. Maybe a sigh here, a quiet comment there. But you're distracted, maybe scrolling through your phone, or just too tired to engage. You ignore their needs, and worse, you don't even share what's on your mind. Over time, that silence builds a wall. They stop trying to reach out, and you stop feeling connected. Studies show that couples who don't talk openly about their feelings are more likely to drift apart. Because how can you fix what you've done to even discuss? And then there's the sneaky cousin of silence: passive-aggressive behavior. You know, those little jabs. Oh, I guess I'll just do it myself. Instead of saying what's really bothering you. It's like planting tiny bombs in your relationship. They don't solve anything. They just explode later in bigger fights. Research from the Journal of Marriage and Family found that couples who lean on passive aggression report lower satisfaction and higher conflict. Why? Because it's communication's evil twin. It pretends to say something but hides the truth. So, what's the fix? Start small. Ask your partner how they're feeling today. Really listen. And share something honest about yourself, even if it's messy. Communication isn't just talking. It's building a bridge. Let's move to habit 2, because this one's a heavy hitter: holding on to past hurt. Alright, habit 2, holding on to past hurt. This one's a love life killer because it turns your relationship into a museum of pain. We've all been hurt before. Maybe your partner said something thoughtless, or there was a betrayal you're still processing. But when you dwell on those grievances, you're not just living in the past, you're dragging it into your present. Here is how it works. Let us say your partner forgot an important date last year. You were upset, fair enough. But now, every time they're late or distracted, your brain goes, see? They don't care. That old hurt colors everything, and suddenly, you're fighting about yesterday instead of today. Psychology tells us this is called rumination, when we replay negative experiences, and it's toxic for emotional intimacy. You can't get close to someone if you're secretly holding a grudge. Forgiveness is the key here, but it's tricky. It doesn't mean pretending it never happened. It means letting go of the weight. Studies show that couples who practice forgiveness report higher trust and satisfaction. But if you can't forgive, that resentment festers. It's like carrying a backpack full of rocks. Eventually, it's going to weigh your love life down until it collapses. Think about it. Are you punishing your partner for something they've already apologized for? Or maybe something they don't even know still bothers you? That's a sign to pause and reflect. Let's keep going. Habit 3 is all about taking your partner for granted. Habit 3, taking your partner for granted. This one sneaks up on you. At first, you notice every little thing they do, the way they make your coffee just right, or how they always text to check in. But over time, those efforts become background noise. You stop saying thank you, stop appreciating them, and that's when the trouble starts. Gratitude isn't just a nice to have. It's a relationship superpower. Research from the University of Georgia found that couples who regularly express appreciation feel more connected and resilient. But when you take your partner for granted, you're sending a message. Your efforts don't matter. Maybe they stop trying, and the relationship starts to feel like a chore instead of a choice. I've seen this in my own life. A friend once told me how her partner stopped noticing the little things she did, like planning date nights or keeping the house cozy. She felt invisible, and eventually she pulled back too. That's the cycle. Neglect breeds distance. So, how do we break it? Simple acts, like a heartfelt, "I appreciate you," can reignite that spark. Don't let your love life fade because you forgot to nurture it. Next up, Habit 4. Unrealistic expectations. Habit 4. Unrealistic expectations. This one's a trap we've all fallen into, thanks to movies, social media, and those perfect Instagram couples. You start thinking your partner should read your mind, plan grand gestures every week, or never have a bad day. But here's the reality check. No one's perfect, and expecting them to be sets your love life up for failure. When you hold your partner to impossible standards, you're not loving them. You're loving an idea. Maybe you compare them to a fictional romance or your friend's highlight reel. That's a recipe for disappointment. Psychology calls this the comparison trap, and it erodes satisfaction fast. A study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who accept each other's flaws are happier than those chasing perfection. Embracing imperfection isn't easy, but it's freeing. Your partner is going to mess up. They might forget your anniversary or snap when they re-stressed. That's human. The question is, can you love them through it? Let's shift gears. Habit 5 is about something we often overlook: lack of self-love. Habit 5, lack of self-love. This might surprise you, but how you feel about yourself shapes your love life more than you think. If you don't care for yourself, mentally, emotionally, physically, you can't show up fully for your partner. It's like trying to pour from an empty cup. When you're insecure or carrying unresolved baggage, you might project that onto your relationship. Maybe you get jealous because you don't feel worthy, or you cling too tight because you're scared of being alone. That's not love. It's fear wearing a mask. Psychology backs this up. Self-esteem impacts relationship health. A study from the American Psychological Association showed that people with higher self-worth have stronger, more balanced partnerships. Self-love isn't selfish. It's foundational. Take time for yourself, whether it's a hobby, therapy, or just a quiet moment to breathe. When you're solid on your own, you bring strength to your relationship, not neediness. Okay, we've covered 5 habits. Let's wrap this up with a conclusion. So, there you have it. 5 habits that can kill your love life. Oh, wait. I promised 8, didn't I? Well, here's a bonus. We could add jealousy, losing independence, and refusing to listen. But let's focus on these core 5 for now. Each one chips away at connection, trust, and joy if left unchecked. The good news? You can change this. Start by looking at your own habits. Where do you see these popping up? Maybe jot down one area to work on this week. Relationships aren't perfect, but they're worth the effort. So here's your call to action. Reflect on your love life. Talk to your partner. Forgive a past hurt. Or just say thank you today. Small steps lead to big shifts. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to Psychiant, and let me know in the comments. What habit resonates with you? Let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, take care of your mind and your heart.